I will start with simpler bind runes, and then I will go into more complicated ones. So as I said before, to understand each of the runes, maybe I'm sure that most of you already know the basics, or you can, always go back to my webinar. I have it on YouTube, where I discuss like each individual rune. But here we see the first example. So this is a bind rune that, as you can see, we can see it as a Gebo rune, crossing rune Isa. We can see double Algis rune, and sort of a like half Tivas or Tir rune. So this is a really good bind rune for protection, to protect our space and to protect our loved ones also, because Gebo is connected to relationships. So if you want to, draw the rune in the air, like over a loved one or over yourself, before you maybe are in some challenging situation where you need to feel like you are protected and shielded and guarded, it's really good. And also you can see that it has kind of concealed two Fehu runes. One is facing right and one is facing left. So it could also be a bind rune that protects your property. That's the Fehu rune. It's about property, money, abundance. So if you need to protect, let's say you leave your home and you need to have it protected from intruders, you could draw this rune on your door, or just, visualize it around your home, or just have it hanging at your home. Or if you need to protect your money, literally, your bank account or something, that's a great rune also to do that. And now we go to this bind rune, which is really simple. It just combines Tivas rune, then you have Raidho rune, and sort of a hidden Ansus rune that hides here. And this is a rune of a spirit warrior. It helps us stand our ground when we need it. It helps us be courageous. And maybe, when we go for some difficult meeting, or we know that the meeting will be challenging for us, it's good to keep this as a talisman, or maybe, draw it in our space, or imagine it in our space. And it also brings the Ansus rune forth, so it gives us this protection from our spirit guides, from our angels, from our ancestors. So this is another powerful one. And now we go to a more complicated one. This is a magical one I created specifically for if you do astral projection or journeying, because this combines runes Ehvas, which is the Tree of Life rune, and Ehvas, which is the Light Body rune, or the Merkaba rune, that helps us, it shields us when we go on deep journeys. So it has a shielding quality, but it also gives you this ability to go maybe on a deeper, more profound astral travel or shamanic journey, whatever. If you are interested in that, it's maybe good to work with this rune before you do a specific journey or some astral travel. And now we go, this is a success bind rune. It binds Sovios, again facing right and left. Together they make a kind of a Odala rune. Then it has two Yera runes on the left and on the right. And then, of course, the Kenas runes, many of them. So this is great for a successful endeavor, successful meeting, like also to attract work that you are in tune with, in harmony with. Let's say if you're looking for a work that you wish would be aligned with your life purpose, your life calling, this is a great rune to work with. Or again, take it as a talisman on some work meetings, or anything, that requires help in regard to work or success. And here is a bind rune for money and abundance. This is rune Fehu. It's facing in all the directions, and it's in a cross shape. So it's 4 Fehu runes bound in a cross. And this is just great, to attract stability, abundance, stable wealth. So this is a really good one to work with when you need to attract money quickly. Now we go to a more complicated one. So here we can see many runes. Here we can see two Ingvas runes, a Dagas kind of reversed upside down. You know, Dagas is usually horizontal. So here it's a vertical. Two Kenas runes, as above, so below, facing down, facing up. And together this creates kind of a rune Odala, again, upside down, as above, so below. So this rune is great for clarity. This is great if you need to balance the light and shadow aspect and gain some insight into something. That's the Ingvas runes. It's kind of a gestation period, and then after you digest it, you come up with some idea, or you go through some breakthrough, important breakthrough. Here we can see another little bit complicated one. You can see 4 Ingvas runes. These are Gebo runes, or it can be seen as Hagalas from the younger Futhark, or the basic tree of life symbol from ancient symbolism. And again, we have Dagas rune. So this is again about inner harmony. Maybe when you feel in some kind of a disbalance and you need to focus, center yourself, and achieve that harmony within. This is a really shielding, highly protective bind rune. Again, we can see a cross of 2 Tivas runes, which is the warrior rune, and Thurisas facing left and right. Why the left and right is because we make sure that we protect or shield ourselves into the past and into the future now. In the center of the cross is the now, past and future. This is because Thurisas is really powerful even for bouncing back negativity. It can even like bounce back curses or really like negative thoughts or psychic attacks. So this is a really powerful bind rune that you would use if you know that you are either under some attack, or you know of some curse or some bad thoughts sent your way, because it's really like it bounces back whatever comes to you. So this one is like only for, you know, these times when you know that some negativity has been sent to you. And here we can see a 8-pointed star, kind of, so a double cross made of only Tivas runes. If we were to connect them, we would get a really, you know, 2 squares. So you have these 2 varieties of the 8-pointed star, and this is just, you know, it's our inner warrior, Tivas rune or Tira rune. So this is about like really standing our ground and empowering ourselves. And, you know, at times when we feel weakened by something or someone, this can bring about great strength, support, power, and comfort. So again, very powerful. This is kind of similar, but it's double crosses, but it binds Tivas or Tyr runes and Algis runes here. So this is for psychic protection, but whereas this one like really shields us in our space, this one has an invitation with the Algis runes. It invites also the help of our spirit guides, or of different, you know, entities that we like to work with, or with our ancestors. So it not only blocks bad energies, but it also attracts the benevolent ones. And again, it helps us be courageous and strong and feel more in alignment with our spirit, with our higher self, with our spirit guides. And here we can see an example how we can bind different kinds of runes, for example, on the ancient symbol of the tree of life, which is crucial in rune magic. And here we can see Algis, Vunio, double Vunio rune, Berkano, another Algis facing down, and a little Gebo. And this is a great bind rune for good luck, for bringing happiness and joy into our lives, and just for feeling more grateful. So this is a really fun one. This is a really powerful shield. It's called Aish Helmur, the Helm of Awe. It's translated as the Helm of Awe. And it's a really powerful rune to have at home, or just to have it when you need protection. It's really powerful, again, shielding, protection, on all the levels, in all the timelines, all the dimensions. It's a complete set of protection. And now, this is an interesting thing that I found. This is how the runes connect to the 11-11 phenomena. I don't know if some of you maybe have this experience, you know, that you keep seeing 11-11 when you look at your clock. So I found that some of the runes really could be considered bind runes of 11-11. This is Lagus rune, so that's like reverse one, right? Here we can see the Ehvas rune, and here we can see how the number ones kind of bind in the Ehvas rune. And here is the Ansus rune, and here again we can see how these, two Lagus runes, or the number ones, bind in Ansus rune. And here they kind of face each other and they become rune Ehvas, which is the light body rune, or the spirit travel rune. And here is a fun thing, like if you were to combine 11-11 into a bind rune, you would get this, and it binds Lagus and Ehvas runes, these two. You could see it as 2 Ehvas runes or 4 Lagus runes. So it's quite interesting. Here we can see how our bodies can stand in each rune. And some of them seem a bit complicated, like this one, but they're quite easy. They're quite easy to exercise, or whatever I could call it. And here we can see examples how we can do these like bind rune exercises or bind rune postures. Here we can see the 2 variations of Isa rune, which is just a line basically. So you can either have your hands up or just, have them down. And this is the Algis rune, this is Tevas rune. So this would be an exercise or a bind rune exercise for protection, for divine protection and guidance, for inviting courage, strength, and power into our lives. And this one is a set for, this brings success to creative endeavors. So we have Fehu, Rune, Kenas, and Sovio. And these 3 make sure that if you are maybe finishing some project, or if you, anything that you are creating or working on, it gives you kind of a blessing and success if you bind these 3 together. And this is a healing bind rune posture. We start with Lagus, which is emotional healing rune, and Ehvas, which is strength and vitality, rejuvenation, and also a symbol of the tree of life. And this is the biggest healing rune, Urus. So we can see that we can even comfortably kind of go from one rune into the other. And this set of 3 runes would give us more vitality and health and overall well-being, strength, power, and so forth. But you can combine the runes. Once you learn about them, you can do different exercises. It's so fun to create your own runic exercise, based on what you need, or what you wish to bring into your space, into your life. Here is the little bit examples of the phonetic binding. So this is a bit trickier, you can play with it more. You can bind runic syllables and vowels into special magic words. So here I have some examples for protection. The Zat word is the Z rune Algis, or Elas also called, the A rune Ansus, and T rune Tevas. So these 3 runes are the runes of psychic protection and shielding. So you could bind it into a Zat word, and when you put it in the back of your mind and you just pronounce it, then you are instantly shielded. It's like if you play with your mind and you kind of encode into your mind that this magic word that you create or bind together for you means psychic protection, then it's enough if you just say it in your mind and you invoke the power of these runes. Or for healing, you can play with it. These are funny sounding words, I know, like Luei, the L rune, the U rune, Urus, Lagus, A rune, Ehvas. So this again brings us this, it's similar to the exercise we've seen before. This brings us great, invigorating power, vitality, healing, if we need to put something into motion. When it comes to healing, strength, empowering ourselves. And for abundance, simply fo or fo is could be enough, because it's the F rune Fehu and O rune Odala, which brings abundance, stability, and money. But we can, you know, you can play with it when you learn the runes and really have fun and create your own words. Here's just a quick look at my book. If you want to know more information about the runes, I think most of you already know that I share so much in it, also about the bind runes.